Hey guys, here's Sunday's weekly Edge. Hope you find it interesting. It's packed full of information from the previous week, what happened this week, and what are the best things to have a look at for swing trading, for day trading. The best thing to do, have a look at this video. It will take you through the weekly Edge. If you're interested in the weekly Edge, then you can always get the daily Edge. Links are down below. Enjoy.
The worst economic data of the quarter printed this week, and in response, global risk assets launched into a massive rally. The catalyst was the U.S. June non-farm payrolls. It showed just 57,000 jobs added, severely missing the consensus estimate of 110,000. Instead of triggering a panic, this stark economic miss was met with pure market euphoria. The S&P 500, the DAX, and gold instantly pushed up to record or multi-month highs. To understand why, we need to trace the causal chain of this single 57,000 jobs print as it cascaded rapidly through the yield curve into foreign exchange, equities, and commodities. In this hypersensitive environment, price action is dominated by rate hike probabilities. While growth signals remain a critical undercurrent for specific sectors, the broad indices are currently trading on the liquidity outlook alone. To read this market, understand the baseline macro regime following the 2026 oil shock. Central banks are inflation inches and burdened by a heavy tightening bias. Because of this persistent hawkish stance, institutional capital is starved for any disinflationary or growth-slowing data that might finally force those central banks to pivot. Standard recessionary warning signs are currently being completely ignored. Instead, slowing growth metrics are treated as bullish indicators of incoming market liquidity. The NFP miss functioned as a trigger for a systemic cross-asset repricing event. That soft jobs print handed traders a free pass to aggressively front-run a Federal Reserve pause. The instantaneous reaction played out in fixed income. We saw a violent compression of the U.S. yield curve as the market immediately cut the odds of a further Fed hike. That sudden drop in yield expectations knocked the U.S. dollar index down to its worst week in roughly 3 months, snapping a 2-week winning streak. This chart shows 5-day movements across major foreign exchange pairs. Dollar weakness dictated a clean split. At the top, direct beneficiaries like the Australian dollar and British pound rallied roughly 1.0%. Pivot down to the bottom of the chart, however, and you see the yen crosses reacting to a different mechanical driver entirely. The Japanese yen firmed up, pulling USD JPY back from the 161 area. This strength was driven strictly by the compression of US-Japan yield spreads, which overrode any localized currency momentum. Looking at this FX board proves that global yield spreads are the absolute dictator of capital flows right now, completely overriding domestic economic data. When transitioning to the equity market's reaction to retreating yields, the rally looks broad on the surface, but internal distribution reveals severe structural divergences. This bar chart mapping the 5-day global equity index performance lays that divergence out perfectly. Look at the massive outperformance of European equities. The DAX surged 4.7% to notch a new record, and Spain's IBEX hit an all-time high. Europe rode a dual tailwind. The soft U.S. jobs data removed global tightening fears, while local German CPI easing to 2.3% offered domestic disinflationary relief. Contrast that European euphoria with the stark anomaly sitting at the very bottom of the board, the U.S. Russell 2000, which slipped 1%. Small caps fell because the Russell 2000 is highly sensitive to domestic economic reality. To these companies, a 57,000 jobs print signals actual growth degradation, not just a rate reprieve. Under the surface of the U.S. indices, a heavy defensive rotation took hold. Capital aggressively moved into value stocks, pushing the Dow up to a record high. Meanwhile, a late-week semiconductor sell-off actively paired the Nasdaq 100's gains. Megacap tech is visibly wobbling on its current valuations. The headline S&P 500 records are masking a fragile market. Capital is hiding in European momentum and defensive value, while abandoning growth-dependent small caps. Physical assets perfectly bifurcated this week, splitting sharply based on geopolitical realities versus monetary policy. Crude oil suffered a bearish breakdown. WTI fell to roughly $68.08, its lowest level since late February, actively bucking the global risk-on tone. The primary catalyst for oil's drop was the total evaporation of the Middle East war premium. Three specific disinflationary catalysts hit at once. Shipping through the Strait of Hormuz recovered, U.S.-Iran talks advanced, and OPEC Plus signaled an August supply increase. While oil fell on physical fundamentals, precious metals surged on pure monetary pricing. Gold and silver became the cleanest expressions of the dovish U.S. repricing. Spot silver was the standout performer. It staged a massive 6.0% higher beta recovery off 7-month lows, driven exclusively by the weakest dollar since April. Commodities are confirming a Goldilocks scenario for equities right now. Structural disinflation from collapsing oil prices paired with a monetary tailwind from the Federal Reserve. But we have to challenge the permanence of Friday's dovish market pricing. The Federal Reserve's actual stated policy stance remains stubbornly hawkish, regardless of a single soft non-farm payrolls print. This chart highlights the stark disparity. The Fed's June dot plot explicitly flipped to signal a 2026 hike, pushing up their terminal rate path, while the market is aggressively pricing in a dovish drop. That means the entire long Europe and short US dollar momentum trade is incredibly fragile. It is built entirely on a single data point. The primary risk event that could shatter this pricing arrives on Wednesday, with the release of the FOMC minutes. Before that, we face a secondary, immediate risk vector, Monday's U.S. ISM Services PMI print. The market has aggressively priced in a perfection scenario. That leaves risk assets highly vulnerable to even a mildly hawkish confirmation from the Fed. For institutional swing traders, translating this precarious macro setup into a concrete positioning strategy requires a two-sided approach. The path of least resistance remains mildly risk-on, provided oil stays soft and the dollar remains on the back foot. That makes it logical to maintain the European equity and gold and silver momentum trades that led last week's rally. However, professional positioning requires aggressively stripping down gross exposure going into Wednesday's FOMC minutes. If Monday's ISM print runs hot, or Wednesday's minutes reveal broad agreement for a hike, expect a violent reversal that will crush stretched AI and tech valuations. Because the underlying regime is still inflation anxious, any upside data supports negative impact on equities. Professional survival this week depends on tactical capital preservation ahead of the Wednesday pivot.
Well, I hope you enjoyed the weekly edge. If you enjoyed the weekly edge, we do have a daily edge. If you look at the links below, and you can subscribe and get the daily edge. If you subscribe to the daily edge, you get the weekly edge and also an update gold edge every single week. So copies flooding into your email box, giving you help, hints, news, tips. So hopefully you've enjoyed the weekly edge and you can look forward to it next week. Don't forget, if you enjoyed it, please subscribe, give me a thumbs up and put it in the comments. Thank you.